All right, everyone, we should be live right now. But YouTube's not telling me so. Come on, YouTube. Can you guys hear?
Hello, everybody, in case we are online.
In case we are.
Yep.
So,
It's
one
kinda...
thing I've noticed about the TUBCAST in the past, I don't know, 5 or 10 shows or something, is that we've been having a lot of guests. We've been having a lot of set topics, right? So, let me
Yes.
just
We
pull this up real
usually,
quick.
we usually have a guest lined up every week where there's like a big
Yeah.
news. It was like 2022 is like the year of big newses.
Yeah, lots of big news. We did We interviewed Dylan Burns last week. Before that, it was the Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton kid from the Game
Yep.
Awards.
And even before that, it was Kanye West, Alex Jones debacle.
Which we had like 50 guests on for.
Yep.
Then we did the
Just
Club Q shooting
throw
with
in the
Doomer.
pull bag.
Yeah.
And yep, the Club Q
Um,
shooter.
we had Dylan Burns again with Brazil's elections. We had Val on, and then Arch joined a little bit later. Who did we have on for the China video? Tubcast 29. Do we even have a
I
guest, or
think
is it
for a
just us?
China episode, we just did it with just us.
It might have been. I'm just going to scroll back and see real quick. Yeah, that might have been the one where we actually just had us on. Yeah. But no, we've been doing a lot more stuff with other people, and we've been doing more coherent topics. This is like the one show in a long time where we're just kind of chilling.
Yep.
We don't know quite too much what to do, but that's
We
okay.
have several topics lined up, but
None of them
none
are
of
large
which
enough for a
are
full
enough for a
yeah.
full video.
Yeah, exactly. Um and let's see here. Well, how about this? Real quick. I'm on a coffee fast. No coffee for me, guys. The last coffee I had was yesterday morning. I'm off coffee at least until after Christmas. So instead I'm having like a hot chocolate.
Why are you on a coffee fast?
I'm drinking too much of it. I got to a point where I was drinking like 3 cups of coffee a day, and it wasn't affecting me anymore, and I'm like, Jesus, okay. I need to like
Mm,
cut the fuck down on this, you know?
you're going on a tolerance break.
Yep. That's what I'm doing. Thanks for the $5, Joel. Right away. Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Um, See, I'm having just hot chocolate. Just well, also because it's really cold right now in Canada. We're shoveling snow off the driveway. We got to clear. Now that we have a car, we got to clear it. Like before, I didn't give a fuck, right? Just let the driveway snow over. Who cares? I'm snowed in all winter anyway. I never leave the house. But like now that I have a car, I have to shovel it out if we want to use it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Drink more coffee.
Having a
Double
hard time
down.
getting to your car.
Yeah.
Does your
Also,
car ever get frozen over? Like, just completely unable to access?
it can get that way if I don't do this, so I'm shoveling and stuff. Yeah. I've seen cars
You
get
don't,
like snowed over for the winter and they're just like done.
you don't want to wake up just one morning and be like, dude, where's my car?
It's just gone.
It's just a snow mound. A bunch of snow mounds.
Mm.
And you don't know which one's your car.
It does get that way in Canada sometimes. So I'm having. What else has been going on? Oh yeah, okay. So in my community Discord, I've been showing some movies, and they have been the most. Okay, it's my favorite movie of all time. All right, it's my favorite movie of all time. It's a movie that almost no one likes and no one knows about, and it's like a hideously, ridiculously offensive movie to everyone. All right. It's offensive
Really?
to black people, to Asian people, to Hispanics. It's offensive to Jews. It's offensive to white people. It's offensive to gay people, trans people. It's offensive to everyone. All right.
And then
It
let me
is
guess, is it Blazing Saddles?
no, it's not.
No?
Nope.
Awesome. Well, that one is classic, though. It does do the shtick of offending everybody, but being funny along the way. But is the movie you're thinking of?
This is a low budget shot on video movie from 1997 called Schizophreniac the Whore Mangler.
I see.
How does that sound for a fucking title?
That does sound like an offensive, exploitative movie
Yeah, someone in the
title.
chat is like, I joined during the shower scene. What the fuck was that? Oh yeah, Tidge watched it twice. I aired it and the sequel twice on Discord this past week, and Tidge watched it both times. And Tidge was like, it's the worst movie of all time. I'm already so sick about hearing about this garbage movie. Listen, I watch it like once a year. It is my go-to for bad movie night. All right.
Is
Here,
it on the level of a Serbian film?
kinda, yeah.
Really?
So
That's
here,
crazy.
here's a Wikipedia article on it. All right. Schizophreniac, the Whore Mangler is a 1997 exploitation film written, directed, and produced by Ron Atkins. All right. The film follows Harry Russo, a psychotic, drug-addicted cross-dresser and film writer who is obsessed with a puppet named Rubberneck.
Sounds like
Rubberneck.
an average Poltard.
Average Poltard. The mascot of his favorite film, which his girlfriend Drew had given him. Harry believes that Rubberneck speaks to him, instructing him to commit acts of violence, such as killing whores, or hooers, as Harry pronounces it. Egged on by Rubberneck, Harry fatally chokes two prostitutes, mutilating and having anal sex with their bodies afterward, and stabs a psychiatrist to death. So, okay, like, it sounds really gruesome and really gory and really fucked up, and it is, but it's so poorly made. Like, the effects shots are fucking terrible, all right? And it's so over the top, goofy, and ridiculous. Like, it's clearly the kind of movie where it's like they're purposely making it bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's, oh my god, I have to show you this movie sometime. It is my favorite movie by far because of how ridiculous it is.
I will have to check it out.
It's very hard to find it nowadays. It's very
Yeah,
hard to
with a
find it
title like
nowadays.
that, probably most sites like we probably won't be seeing Netflix hosting this one anytime soon.
No, 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 no. So this guy who plays Harry Russo, the actor, like he does some fucked up shit in this movie, all right? He pisses himself in this movie.
Jeez.
He jacks off twice in this movie. Like, and I don't mean like he actually jacks off twice in this movie. All right? He he does a lot of scenes just full on naked. Like there's they clearly shot a lot of this movie at like 3 a.m. in like commercial centers where there's going to be no one there, right? So, you have like a strip mall with like a few restaurants is there, maybe like a Radio Shack or something. Just you know what I'm talking about. Maybe there's like a Walmart in the center of it. Just like, a large strip mall with a bunch of buildings. Okay? And that place is bustling during the day, but at 3 a.m., no one's there. No one's in the parking lot. It's like a dead part of town. So they drove out and shot a bunch of scenes in places like that. So he's like on top of the stores, naked, holding Rubberneck and screaming that he's going to he's screaming every slur in the book, screaming that he's going to kill all of them because they're all degenerate and he's going to war with the world. And there's like another shot where he's in like a
Ow.
parking garage and he's dancing around naked. And it's an over the top ridiculous movie. Like holy fuck. Holy fuck,
It
it's funny. I love this movie.
it really does sound like if somebody on Pulse were to snap one day.
Mhm. Mhm.
The slurs included.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, and here's the thing: everyone seems to make like jokes about this that kind of fit them because it's not really a political movie. It's just kind of like a goofy, let's throw away an hour and a half of our lives movie, right? But like,
Mhm.
whenever I show it to right wing people, they're like, "Oh my god, this is what like a trans person is. This is like your average troon, like ridiculous comments, right?" But then I've shown it to left wing people, and they're like, this is a guy who didn't transition. This is the repressor, you know, who snaps and like kills a bunch of people. And it's like each side sees something in it. Then it's really funny. It's really fucking funny. Oh man, okay, they prank Wages in this. Like there's one scene early in the movie where he goes to an actual drive-through, right? And
Mhm.
he's talking to the guy and he's screaming at him. He's like, "You're at Wendy's," and he's like, "I want my fucking Big Macs," and he's like raging into the microphone, and like clearly the guy is just like a random worker, right? He's like, it's oh my god, it's really good.
I
I
want my
cannot recommend it
Sichuan
enough.
sauce. I'm Pickle Rick.
Someone in the chat asked, "What's a troon?" A troon is a slur for a trans person, but it seems to be like a very like terminally online slur. You know what I mean? You don't really hear it IRL.
Yeah, you have to
Let
be
me
like
see.
really fucking constantly online for that shit.
Yeah,
It's a funny word. I don't. Some people get super offended over it, but like I just think it's a funny word. It's like troon.
yeah. Is it like a trans loon? Is that where it comes from? Maybe.
I'm guessing
Yeah,
it's or it also sounds a bit like tune. So like
yeah. Oh, you know what? You know what it probably is. It's probably like a variation on coon,
maybe.
because that's like a black slur, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't get how people come up with these words. That's
yeah.
funny.
Neither do I.
Oh,
Neither do I. I know, like, there's a place in Toronto called Troon Technologies. There's a golf club in Arizona called Troon North Golf Club. Like, it clearly has it's clearly a word outside of the slur, right?
yeah. Or some name. But
Mm-hmm. Hold on, Urban
I digress.
Dictionary. Hold on, hold on.
You're gonna get to the bottom of this.
I am getting at the
Or
bottom of
make sure.
this. There's a
Oh,
bunch of different.
history.
Okay, so here's from 2009. So this is before I think before the trans conversation. So troon means a person of unparalleled annoyance, a life ruiner, a person that displays little or no backbone, and a douche. So just like a general insult. Okay.
So this was like before it got turned into like a anti-trans thing, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see here. Um, here's a more recent one. A troon is a conjunction of the word trans and cartoon. Trans people will never fully transition into what they believe they should look like, so they resort to drawing or commissioning cartoon avatars of what they wish they look like. This is exacerbated in furry communities and isn't unique to transgenders with furries. Okay, so I don't, trans and cartoon maybe, and this one says that it's a portmanteau of trans and goon rather than cartoon.
Yeah, that's what like
Yeah,
different people have different interpretations.
yeah, damn. Let's see. A
So
portmanteau
yeah,
of the words transgender and goon, signifying an accusatory term to denote mostly male individuals that appropriate the transgender identity in order to shield themselves from criticism. Oh my god. So this is like, okay, so this isn't like an actual this person says it's not troon. You only use troon against people who use the transgender identity as an excuse to behave badly, but not all trans people.
like are they implying like trenders or something?
Maybe trenders, or maybe even people who are legitimately trans, but they're like, listen, even though I'm trans, I'm not guilty of doing this crime because I'm trans, and therefore I'm allowed.
Uh, because do these
the,
such people exist? Like maybe, but I don't know.
mm,
It
I
would be
think when
pretty
I think when it comes
obnoxious
to
if they
slur
do though.
discourse, there's definitely like there's a strand of that, right? Where like black people can say slurs, but white people can't, kind of thing. It's like, well, the only difference between the two is that one's a different demographic. So, but that it doesn't seem liberal that that should allow you to do extra things, and like the standard should be equal to all. You know what I mean? And there are definitely like, oh, well, the power imbalance means that I can treat you like shit, but you can't treat me like shit. And it's like, ah, fuck off with that. That's ridiculous. Anyway, sorry, chat. Listen, as you know, today is like a lazy day stream. Okay, we'll get to things eventually, I'm sure. I'm just, oh god,
So,
I have been like, I'm like fucking falling apart at the moment. I don't know about you, but I'm not. I mean, I'm feeling okay physically. A little bit of an upset stomach. I didn't really eat anything bad, so I don't know why. I've just been like working like crazy, so I'm working on a bunch of new videos. Basically, I'm going away for Christmas, and I want there to actually be content on the channel for fucking once, rather than me just vanishing. So I've been doing a lot of work.
plan stuff ahead. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. My goal in the coming year is basically to like. Thanks for educating me on new slurs. No problem, buddy. Uh, my goal for the coming year, like I don't know exactly what I'll do with the Tubcast specifically. I'm probably gonna have to change it at some point. But my goal is to definitely in 2023 get some sort of a physical location that isn't just, you know, in my house for this show. You know what I mean?
Like renting a studio?
Yeah, something like that. A place where I can actually have like a sound booth and sets, you know. And as always, you know, if you ever wanted to leave California and come join me, you can. But basically, my long term goal is to like make this into a more official thing than just, you know, me speaking into a mic at my desk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Would it not be more cheaper to try to convert your room to something more akin to a studio? Because like renting a studio is just like there's benefits to it, but there's also like monthly costs to think about.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I do kind of have a studio going in my house for sure. But like, if I'm gonna start bringing on people that aren't just like my friends and my girlfriend, you know what I mean? I gotta like, I gotta. Yeah, so Tidge is kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I know that Linus Tech Tips has like a big facility, but he has like 15 million subs, right? Um, Red Letter Media, like they have maybe 5 people working for them. They have like a warehouse where they can build sets. That's probably what I'm looking at, you know, because you know my girlfriend lives with me and she helps me with the show, and my editor is also my best friend from kindergarten, and he helps me with the show, but he also is my roommate. So the 3 of us rent a house, but like if the business is gonna move beyond just us 3, and I do want it to, you know, I am gonna need a place. Like I can't just have like everyone come to my house. You know what I mean? Like there has to be like an outside place that's not my house.
Yeah,
So
I understand that.
yeah, and like I have like a list of, if I just had like a big pile of money drop into my lap right now, I have a list of like about like a dozen people I would hire. I think for various. Dev's building a harem studio. Yeah, I'm only gonna hire hot chicks. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm only hiring hot chicks. How does that sound?
Just don't like just don't turn into a Weinstein and situation.
Hey, I wouldn't force anyone. I mean, sex work is real work, right? I'm gonna take the
So
leftist
true.
line. I'm taking the leftist line on this.
You'll touch them and then pay them afterwards.
Yes, based.
You see, I am respecting your sex work.
Tidge says no cute femboys. Oh,
There's
so
gotta be femboys. There's no way you don't have femboys.
gotta be at least one, eh? Yeah. So yeah, Darkside says, for example, Dev, you don't have a big enough audience. Yeah, fair enough, right? But I'll get there. You know, I'll get there. One day. I do
One
have
day.
like a plan to get there for sure. For example, I know even at just my current size, if I were to actually put out a video a day, I could in fact afford the monthly rent on a studio easily. I'm just being lazy right now. So I should probably stop being lazy. I am my biggest problem right now, for sure. I'm my biggest problem right now. But yeah, like I would probably hire on you if you wanted it. I have like a bunch of other friends. I can at least think of 5 off the top of my head who like all kind of need jobs and would come to Canada and do it. A lot of them are in Canada, some of them aren't, but still they'd be like, "Yeah, I'll move." You know, it's always good to
Well, right
experience another
now I'm
country.
like, right now I work part-time and I've been trying to look for another job.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, maybe, like, depends on the job, but it could be a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds fun.
Like my ultimate goal, I think, would probably be like somebody to do like audio, somebody to do like video editing, maybe somebody to help me write. At least one person who's good with their hands, they can like help build sets and stuff. I have ideas. I just don't have the means to do them yet. One day I'll get there. You know. And by the way, that means you guys got a super chat, so I can do it.
Yes. Chill to improve Dev's feature.
Okay. Caffeine to cocaine. All right, that's what I'll do. I'll just get fucking cocaine. Oh, that's right. People are doing the digital blackface thing again.
Are they?
Yeah. Over on Wired. Why the emoji skin tone you choose matters.
Jeez. So you're not allowed to use a skin tone that's darker than you anymore then.
I purposefully use the darkest skin tone every single time.
I know you do. Sometimes people get confused and ask if you're black.
Do they actually?
I've seen like replies like that before.
Oh man, that actually reminds me. So there's someone. I don't want to name who. Oh, thanks for the $10, BD. Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Also, as for me, I just used the yellow one because I'm
Well,
part Asian, so it fits.
yeah, you can do it. You're allowed. Oh,
Just use the default yellow.
And $5 from Kiko Man. Thanks, guys. Very appreciated. For the Ethot House, based. I'm only gonna hide. You know what? You remember that that artesian builds controversy like a few months ago, where it turned out the guy had like 5 hot Asians on staff who did no work. And it's like, what are they doing here? It's like, oh, he's just fucking all of them. Uh-oh. Lilith muted herself. I think she's AFK suddenly. Yep. Something must be happening IRL. I will have to carry the show on my own. Oh, welcome back.
No, I'm okay.
You're good?
Hi. Yeah.
All right, welcome back.
Hi.
Let's see though, because let me we do have some like half stories that we can talk about, right? That aren't worth like a full 2-hour tubcast or something, but we can still discuss them.
Yep.
Let me try and find them. Just give me a moment here. Just give me a second. Okay. Actually, yeah, you know what we'll do? We'll do that. We'll do the Biden one first because why not?
Yep.
Why not do the Biden one first?
Biden did something this week.
He woke up. He rolled out of bed.
He got visited by the 3 ghosts of Christmas past and decided, I'm gonna be presidential and do stuff.
I'm just opening all the links that you have sent real quick. All right, guys. All right, and there's this. Shut up, YouTube. Okay.
And really, this has been like the first time in a while since he actually did something. Like the last big thing he did was, I think, the student debt forgiveness thing, which got sniped from orbit.
Yeah, what happened with student debt forgiveness?
I think, like, gosh, I don't know the full details about it. But I think, like, there were some GOP politicians was just like, no, and they stopped it
No.
somehow. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. No, I heard that like it fucked up.
I could be
Oh no,
wrong.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't GOP politicians. Okay, here we go. I'll bring it up. Let me just share with you again. Okay, here we are, chat. All right, this is Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. Let's see. Yeah. A federal appeals court temporarily halted President Biden's student debt relief program in November,
Yeah, that
placing
was the
all
Federal
debt
Relief
cancellation on
Court.
hold. The Department of Education has stopped accepting loan applications during the halt. Let's see. Apparently, yeah. Oh, come on. I gotta give it a zap. What? Oh, shit, I deleted the article. Okay, you know what?
Good job.
We'll just archive it. A federal appeals court on Friday temporarily halted President Biden's student debt relief plan. Yeah, $5 from Via Red. Legally, Biden can't forgive debt. That's what I was thinking too. Is that it was like actually outside of his power? Yeah.
Yeah.
U.S. Court of Appeals for the Eighth Circuit granted a stay in response to an appeal filed by 6 Republican-led states. Okay.
Also, it was Republicans.
Yeah, 6 Republican-led states filed saying that it's not within the federal government's jurisdiction to relieve debt. Guess we'll have to see, you know?
Yep. We'll see if this overturning gets overturned or
Yeah. To be fair, yeah, even Pelosi said that too. She said back in the day
or
that
stays.
this wasn't something that they could do. And to be honest, I know there are some people who are just like, who cares about the rules? Who cares about procedure? Just give us what we want. It's our ideas are good. Just do them. And it's like you can't think. You have to worry about how you do things too. You know.
Yep. Because if you don't worry about the rules, neither will the next person.
Yeah. And not just that, but like I think it matters how you do something in a moral sense just as much as it matters what you do. You know, like
Yes.
if you do things in an underhanded way, you become more of an underhanded person, and then you're going to do more bad things when it becomes convenient again. You know, you do have to stick to your fundamental beliefs at some point. You might have a good reason to go outside the bounds of ethics, but even with a good reason, it's still gonna end badly for you. You know. But okay,
That's
we're
why
not
you
talking
gotta have
about.
principles.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, Fat262. I argue with you a lot in other streams. Rules only matter if both sides play by them. I understand your point if we're talking about just pure realist power games, like who's going to win. However, if you act like them, you will become them. And that's kind of the problem, right? Is that if you behave like leftists who completely disregard all the rules, you will become exactly like them. And that's no good.
You also create justifications for them in the future to further break the rules as well.
Yep. But we're not talking about student debt. We're talking about what happened here. Let me just pull it up real quick. Biden signs historic bill codifying same-sex and interracial marriage. Wait, hold on.
Yep.
Has America not had interracial marriage?
We've had interracial marriage, but I don't think it was codified into the law. I think it was the same deal with gay marriage, where it was like a Supreme Court ruling where it was decided
Oh,
that it was a right.
okay.
But as we've seen from also 2022, the Supreme Court rulings might
Can be
not
overturned.
always stick that way forever,
Yeah.
depending on who makes up the court and what their opinions on a subject are.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, you.
Democrats decided to do the thing they should have done with abortion,
Yep.
and they essentially moved to codify it
This is
along that with interracial marriage.
Yeah, so Ariana Thorne says this is them getting ahead of the problem they got with Roe. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? Okay, Brent Lolacher, listen, it's not always more laws and less rights. That's not how the government works. It can be that way, but not always, right? State mandated brown waifus. Yes, Spooky, that's how it should be.
Yes.
Absolutely. That feel when you're like a newly colonizing Spaniard arriving in the new world and you get 3 state mandated brown waifus. It's great.
Like
Have you
time to
seen those
create an entire race.
Have you seen those pictures of like conquistadors with like brown anime girls running around?
I
It's
have seen those, like
those
the
are great.
conquistador Woljacks
Yeah.
being all smug, or conquistador Chads. I've seen both variations.
um but yeah, so
Like, look, hey baby, want to create the Hispanic race with me?
so yes, so in terms of this story, there are multiple members of the court who said that this logic doesn't apply with interracial marriage or same-sex marriage, like for the Roe v. Wade logic. However, one guy dissented. I think it was it Thomas who dissented? Justice Thomas? Was it good old Corn Pop who dissented and said that no, we should strike down all of it?
I think, let's be charitable here. I believe he said that in the light of the Roe ruling, other other rulings can also be examined and brought to the table. Was
Right.
more closer to what he
Mm-hmm.
said. But yes, it did come across to many people like they were gonna put like gay marriage under a microscope and maybe overturn I believe it was Obergefell or something. That was what it
That
was
was the gay
called.
marriage one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So they are doing what basically I said they should have done for abortion 6 months ago, which was actually do something legislatively about it rather than just relying on the courts. And to be fair, I think um even left-leaning judges on the court, they said that they needed something legislative and that Roe v. Wade was not very well argued. But here we are with Biden's Respect for Marriage Act, guys. A decade after he surprised the nation by publicly throwing his support behind same-sex marriage, President Joe Biden on Tuesday signed the Respect for Marriage Act into law at a White House ceremony, cementing his legacy as a champion of LGBTQ rights. The celebration was a full-circle moment for the nation's oldest sitting president, a fitting bookend to his decades-long personal evolution on same-sex marriage. Yeah, because back in the 90s, he was very against it, wasn't he?
Yes, he went on television and said marriage was between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
And at some point he changed his mind, and I believe he actually changed his mind before Obama and Hillary did.
You think so?
Yeah, at least that was what was reported.
Hmm. See,
And
I often wonder, like, if these people actually care or if they're just doing it because they know it's popular, you know? Like something like
yeah,
this. These guys don't seem like especially hardcore religious or anything. They're probably like, oh, well, what gets me the votes? In the 90s, it was being against same-sex marriage. Now it's being for same-sex marriage. So it's probably just like a political play. You know what I mean?
it,
Hey,
it's
Flamenco.
likely, it's possible, but it's also been like 16 years since the clip was surfaced where he said he was against same-sex marriage and that marriage was between a man and a woman. I believe
Yeah.
people can change their minds between over that course of time. Of
Yeah.
course, with politicians, it's like you have to view it through the lens of they are a politician,
Yeah.
and
Exactly. Hmm.
you never know if they change their mind was because it's expedient for them to do so, or they've actually just evolved their views and changed
Hmm.
as a person.
So Ian Novak in the chat says they're finally doing something absolutely pointless and symbolic in nature. Here's the thing: if the court does come for gay marriage, this won't be symbolic in nature. This will actually be something real, which is kind of the point. You know?
Yes. It's like just like if when Roe was a thing, if they
Yeah.
had passed laws like they've said they were going to do,
Mhm.
codify Roe, that remember Obama saying.
Yep.
Um, they never did, and look what happened. With this, I believe what it will do is that it will make it so that this even if some individual states would overturn, like make gay marriage illegal and stop issuing out licenses, they would still have to respect gay and interracial marriages from other states.
Right. Yes,
Like
and we will get to
they
that. Yeah.
can't be allowed to say, "Oh, well, we don't even though you were married on a federal level, we don't believe it, so we don't have to give you legal benefits or let you see your spouse in the hospital or all that stuff that comes with a legal marriage."
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree with you. Yeah. Um, Someone in the chat says, I still think we should have different terminalage for a bond between same-sex couples. So this is like a marriage is a religious institution. You should have a civil union instead with all the exact same rights, just a different label. And I'm like, I understand the logic, and it's not like it's bad logic, you know? Like you could say, for example, that the government should be doing marriages at all. They should only do civil unions. They should only do
Yes,
civil
lots of
unions.
libertarians argue for that.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like we should just take government out of all marriages.
Hmm.
And you know what? I can see some points in that, where it's just like marriage no longer needs to be officiated by the state. You can just announce that you're married or get married in a church or by a group of people that and it and have it be just as official. And
I guess
that
the
could be
issue.
fine, but there's
Mhm.
also issues that arises from that because like
Division of
there are
assets.
certain
Yeah.
like yeah, like for example inheritance or just like hospital visits or
Hmm.
taxes and some can argue like oh there shouldn't be benefits for that but there are also
Oh God.
societally that it's also pertinent for people to get together and to form households together because that way people generally take up less resources and they're able to help each other out when they're in a like stable relationship with each other and
Yeah,
a
I agree
marriage
with that.
facilitates that.
Hmm. There's someone in the chat who's like, "Get rid of government." It's like, no, I'm not a fucking anarchist, you moron. All right, but still, though, like you could, for example, set it up so that the government only issues civil unions for like tax purposes, or for census purposes, or for hospital visits, or for child support, raising children, inheritance, you know, alimony, division of assets, all this sort of stuff. You have a civil union, but a marriage is just a religious institution. You know what I mean? You could do it like that. That seems reasonable to me.
I don't necessarily think marriage is an entirely religious institution because like does that mean like because people have been getting married before Christianity became a thing. People have been getting married before Judaism was a thing. People have been getting married since forever and it's and I'm sure not all of the people that got married were Christians or monotheistic
Well, no,
or even
that's true.
religious.
That's true. But like, I don't think you can find a conception of marriage in our ancient past that doesn't have a spiritual component. Like they all did. All societies had a spiritual component in their relationships.
Yeah, but people still got married. That's the thing, like with or without religion.
No, this is what I mean though, is that in the
There's
ancient
a
past,
component to it, yeah.
yeah, in the ancient past, there was always a religious component to marriage, no matter what society you were part of, because Like even before you had organized religion in the modern sense, you still definitely had like a series of spiritual beliefs, and those spiritual beliefs definitely gave you prescriptions, including how to run your relationships. So I don't think you can find like this mythical secular marriage in humanity's ancient past. I think that's a modern invention.
Well, we also didn't have exactly very secular like societies in the past either.
But yeah, but still,
Entirely.
that kind of proves my point, though, is that like it, maybe marriage should just be a vestige of that tradition, and then we have a more modern civil union. That seems reasonable to me.
Maybe, but I don't think like religion has like a monopoly or domination on the concept of marriage.
I think it
At
does,
the end of
actually.
the
I
day,
think it
it's like it's
does.
just
I really think it does.
guess we'll just have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see here. No, I'm not an ANCAP. I'm not becoming an ANCAP, you fucking morons. Jesus Christ. Shut up with that. God damn it. So, anyway. We are at a point now where you have the, what is it called here? What's the name of the thing? The Respect for Marriage Act, okay? That was just signed into law. And that's right, this kind of went viral here. Let me just pull it up real quick. As I presided over the debate for Respect for Marriage Act, I had to remind Republicans like Vicky Hartzler their time for debate had expired. For too long, Republicans have tried to follow. Yeah, okay. But here, listen. I want you guys to. This is a bit unhinged to me. All right, listen to this. All right.
And pray that my colleagues will find the courage to join me in opposing this misguided and this dangerous bill. And I yield back.
Gentlewoman's time has expired.
And you're saying
Okay.
we don't
Hold on.
have the time.
Guys, just wait.
I hope and pray
Why is she
that
crying?
my colleagues will find the courage to join me in opposing
Oh no!
this
Now,
misguided
now
and
states
this
can
dangerous
invalidate
bill.
gay
I
marriages
yield back.
and interracial marriages. Ooh, are people gonna give you? Are people gonna force her to marry a woman now?
Listen. You know what? I will actually swing at this bitch from the right. All right. I don't give a fuck about crying women. Misogyny.
Haste.
No, this is ridiculous. No. Listen, Neon Reagan, she's crying because she sees evil. No, she's crying because she sees a paycheck. She's an actress. All right, this is ridiculous. I'm going to cry because of the Respect for Marriage Act, guys. I'm going to cry about it. Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
And keep in mind,
State
churches
enforced
will not be
homosexuality.
will still not be forced to officiate gay marriages.
Oh, we'll get to that. Actually, we'll get to that.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
So I really don't like. Oh, this is funny.
this is
There was actually her. I believe it was her nephew.
Yep, I have
Yes,
that right here.
her nephew
Yeah.
reacted to this too.
This is her nephew's TikTok on the subject, because of course it's a nephew. He's using TikTok. I'm getting
Yep,
old, guys. I'm
Zoomers.
getting old.
United States Congresswoman, my Aunt
It's not the
Vicky,
matter of
started
getting old,
crying
it's just
because
Go on.
you don't want to install Chinese spyware, and that's fine.
Yeah, that too.
today a United States Congresswoman, my Aunt Vicky, started crying because gay people like me can get married.
I hope and pray that my colleagues will find the courage to join me in opposing this misguided and this dangerous bill. And I yield back.
So despite coming out to my aunt this past February, I guess she's still just as much as a homophobe.
Let's be clear. Obergefell is not in danger, but people and institutions of faith are.
This is the important part. Here,
Aunt Vicky, that's not right. Institutions of faith like religious universities are not being silenced. They're being empowered by the US government. to discriminate against tens of thousands of LGBTQ students because of religious exemptions, but they still receive federal funding.
Okay, this logic I don't agree with, because I do believe that religious institutions can, in fact, implement rules based on their religion, and if that discriminates against, say, gay people, then fine, go to a non-religious institution. So I don't agree with his logic here. But
Yes, but those religious institutions shouldn't be able to impose the state to enforce their rules onto the rest of the people. It's like that comic, my religion says I can't do that, and the other person says, okay. And then the second one is, my religion says you can't do that, and the second person says, fuck you. And I think that's fair. Like, I don't think, like, the religious definition of marriage should be dominating, like, the state's definition of marriage. And maybe some people can argue the state shouldn't have a definition of marriage at all, but that's an entirely separate argument.
Yep. Let's continue though.
The bill's implications: submit to our ideology or be silenced.
It's more like you want the power to force your religious beliefs onto everyone else. And because you don't have that power, you feel like you're being silenced. But you're not. You're just gonna have to learn to coexist with all of us. And I'm sure it's not that hard.
Wow.
Yeah, how can she coexist with the gays when, now that this bill is passed, she will be forced to marry a black lesbian
In a wheelchair.
in a wheelchair
Okay, hold on.
who's probably transgender?
Probably. Here's Biden announcing that he signed it, But hold on, I gotta find. Maybe it was in this. Was it? Hold on. Let's see.
This hollow amendment provides no tangible protections for religious schools, no protections for faith-based adoption and foster care agencies, no protections for Christian businesses who contract with the government, and no protections for civil servants that justly believe marriage is just between a man and a woman.
Okay, so that's actually an important little bit that was left out of the previous clip. Let's just watch that again real quick. So I want to analyze it, okay?
This hollow amendment provides no tangible protections for religious schools, no protections for faith-based adoption and foster care agencies, no protections for Christian businesses who contract with the government, and no protections for civil servants that justly believe marriage is just between a man and a woman.
Okay, so each of those things aren't the same thing, right? So Christian schools, fine. Christian adoption agencies, fine. However, Christian civil servants who work for the government, well, part of your job is implementing government policy, right? Like, if you can't do that because of your conscience, then you shouldn't have that job. You should have a different job, obviously. So she's lumping all these things together and saying that, oh, well, because a church is protected, a Christian working down at, like, the local town hall who gives out the marriage licenses should also be protected. And it's like, no, those are not the same things, all right? Those aren't the same things.
Like, a clerk doesn't get to reject the person's, like, wish to expand his house because that clerk believes that house should be small. Like, their opinions, personal opinions be damned, they're there to do a job.
Yeah. Here's the most important thing, though, is that this first part of what she says here, I'll just play it once more so you all know what's going on. Just listen.
This hollow amendment provides no tangible protections for religious schools, no protections for faith-based adoption and foster care agencies.
That the bill provides no protections for these overtly religious institutions, that's just a lie. All right?
Yep.
She's lying. So I've got the text here. This is the text of the Respect for Marriage Act. Okay? And here it is. And it's a very short bill. You can, in fact, read it right now. Okay? So.
Yep, it's not like one of those insane stimulus bills where they pack an entire cart full of just papers.
Yeah. Yep, it's very short. So you can actually check it out right now, guys.
It's one page, in fact.
It's one page. I think it's 2 pages, but still, yeah. So, Congress finds the following. 1. No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family. 2. Diverse beliefs about the role of gender in marriage are held by reasonable and sincere people based on decent and honorable religious or philosophical premises. Therefore, Congress affirms that such people and their diverse beliefs are due proper respect.
Yep. Like the religious exemption in like the big text, but of course they'll get into more details about that.
3. Millions of people, including interracial and same-sex couples, have entered into marriages and have enjoyed the rights and privileges associated with marriage. Couples joining in marriage deserve to have the dignity, stability, and ongoing protection that marriage affords to families and children. So these are the 3 findings, which is basically like the morals that this is based on. All right. So you have Section 1738 of Title 28, U.S. Code, is repealed. This is the code that basically says that states don't have to respect marriages that happen in other states. So that's repealed. And then inserted into Chapter 115 of Title 28, the U.S. Code, as amended by this Act. So where this was taken out, instead, this section here is inserted. So here's what's inserted. In general, no person acting under color of state law may deny the full faith and credit to any public act, record, or judicial proceeding of any other state pertaining to a marriage between 2 individuals on the basis of the sex, race, ethnicity, or national origin of those individuals. And then, of course, there's just all these subsequent... This is the main one. This is basically saying that if a gay marriage happens in California, a non-gay marriage state can't invalidate that marriage if they go to that state. So I don't know, like, maybe Nebraska doesn't have gay marriage. I don't fucking know. Let's assume Nebraska doesn't have gay marriage. All right. Nebraska still has to respect the marriage of a gay couple in California.
Yep.
So this doesn't even force Nebraska to marry gay people. It just makes them respect marriages happening elsewhere. All right.
Yeah, it means they don't get to arbitrarily decide, well, we don't like it when gay people get married, so we're just gonna strip all the privileges that you've had in a different state
Of
and
course,
just not
there's
recognize your marriage here.
Yep. There's
Or
enforcement of the law by the Attorney General.
Yeah.
There's also the private right of action. So criminal and civil are both covered here. And then, of course, you have marriage recognition. This is what marriage means. It's a marriage between 2 individuals. And, of course, it applies to any state, District of Columbia, Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, any other territory. Yep, so it anywhere in the states. All right. Okay. And then you have this section, Section 6, no impact on religious liberty and conscience. So, nothing in this act or any amendment made by this act shall be construed to diminish or abrogate a religious liberty or conscience protection otherwise available to an individual organization under the Constitution of the United States or federal law. Consistent with the First Amendment of the Constitution, non-profit religious organizations, including churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, non-denominational ministries, interdenominational and, I can't say this word, organizations, mission organizations, faith-based social agencies, religious educational institutions, and non-profit entities whose principal purpose is the study, practice, or advancement of religion, and any employee of such an organization shall not be required to provide services, accommodations, advantages, facilities, goods, or privileges for the solemnization or celebration of marriage. Any refusal under this subsection to provide such services, accommodations, advantages, facilities, goods, or privileges shall not create any civil claim or cause of action. So when she said that there wasn't protection for various faith-based institutions, she was simply directly lying. Because it's right there.
Yes.
It's right fucking there in the bill.
Yep. In clear writing.
Yeah. So no, churches are not going to be forced to gay marry people. All right. Christian
Marry
adoption.
that gay.
marry that gay. Listen, Christian adoption agencies are not going to be forced to give kids to gay couples if they don't want them. If they don't want to do that, like the protection's right here. It's right here. She was just lying. She was just lying. Okay. That is what the bill is saying, Spooky. Spooky, you're wrong.
What are they claiming?
Spooky just hasn't accepted his trans status yet. He'll get around to it. Listen,
I
Lilith,
see.
we got to pink pill him. You understand? We got to pink pill him.
You're saying Spooky's an egg waiting to be
Hold on.
hatched?
Dev, you're the one lying. God. Okay, Brock Sampson. Dev, you're the one lying here. How?
Yeah, literally read the text of the bill. We'll link it to you.
Where's? Yes, it is. It says you're forced to. No. It said you, not you are forced to recognize. The government is forced to recognize. All right? That's what it says up here. No person acting under color of state law may deny the full faith and credit to any public act, record, or judicial proceeding. All right? So this is government action, not businesses. All right?
Yep.
And then down here, you have goods or services. Here's private businesses and all the protections that they have. All right? So no. Link the bill. I can link it to you, sure. I'll put it in the chat if you want to see it. Here you go. There it is, guys. Check it out. Ethan Rogers, it actually wasn't federal law that states had to recognize marriage from other states. That was what this part repealed up here. This bit, section 1738 of Title 28. Here, we can actually just look this up. Section 1738 of Title 28. What is it? Here we go. Yep. No state, territory, possession of the United States, or Indian tribe shall be required to give effect to any public act, record, or judicial proceeding of any other state. Right, so respecting a relationship between the persons of the same sex that is treated as a marriage under the laws of such other state. So basically, this bit of law that was in the Defense of Marriage Act allowed other states and areas of the United States to disregard legal gay marriages that happen in other states. This was repealed. This part was taken out and replaced by this framework here. Hold on.
Yes.
Santa says, I love you, Dev, but you are not a centrist. You are a dyed-in-the-wool 2005 lefty through and through. Guess what? That's a centrist today, okay? Because I'm not a communist. I am not a communist. And as I hear so many bread tubers say, liberals aren't leftists. Oh no, Spooky, I agree with you. There should absolutely be like federally mandated firearm rights in the same way. I agree with you. Like, this is correct. Your point of view that other topics don't get this protection is like true. We should give it to them. There should absolutely be more firearm protections in the United States for sure. Anyway, I think at the bottom there's one more bit. Oh yeah, that's right. There's no federal recognition of polygamous marriages, so polyamory cucks are still seething. It's not happening, guys.
Yeah. Very big oppression against the Mormons, I'm sure.
Yeah, man. When it comes to poly, all right, it's either like far left people or far right people who want it. It's like sexual horseshoe theory.
Yes, it really is.
But in any case, that's what's going on
There's,
here.
like, lots of people on the left that don't want it, but like
There's
also
a lot.
lots of people on the right that don't want it, and then the reverse is also true.
Yeah. There's a lot of like Coomer-brained leftists who just want to be in their like polycules. And then you also have like you have like religious people who have like 4 wives, and they're like, no, this is a real thing. It's like, okay. So anyway,
Yep.
that's the it's not much of a story, but that is the Biden signing in the Respect for Marriage Act law story. Basically, you have some people who are kind of raging about it, and they're like, this doesn't provide enough protections for private individuals who don't want to get gay married or don't want to be part of a gay marriage. And it's like, yes, it does. That's just lying. And I find that when it comes to gay marriage, there's a lot of like old Republicans who do a lot of fucking lying about the topic. Artemis Fowl, $2. Have you read in the Twitter Files topic? No, and we actually might not get to it. I don't know. Okay, Artemis and I have been like fucking arguing on Twitter over Twitter files. And Artemis, I appreciate you, but you're like an autistic fucking retard, okay? And sometimes you're a bit you're a bit much, dude. But that's this topic. I see there wasn't enough here for a full stream. There was enough here for like 30 minutes of a stream. So but that's what it is. Let's have a short intermission while we figure out the next round of things. How's it going, chat? How retarded are you today? Give me just a second here. Dun, 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 dun. How about you, Lilith? What are you doing?
Oh.
Okay. Motherfucker.
Hey,
Oh my god. Brock Sampson. Dev, you know damn well they're not going to protect the baker. Listen, okay. Here's what I don't like about realist fucking... You got like a fucking dent in your skull because your brain's seeping out of your fucking ears, okay? Listen, all right? I understand. But you're like, oh, well, the letter of the law says something that I like. So great, everything is good. Look at the defense. Look at that "Don't Say Gay" bill. But per the letter of the law, things should be completely fine. So I like it. It's good. You know, you're all being conspiracy brain if you think something bad's going to actually happen to gay people in Florida. All right, then you flip it around, and here's a letter of a law that is completely reasonable, and you're like, you know, they're not going to actually implement that. You know, they're just going to come after us anyway. And it's like, you're a retard. You're just a fucking sub 75 IQ fucking moron, okay? And it blows my mind that I have to deal with you every single fucking time that I go live, okay? Sometimes selective enforcement happens. But you know what? Selective enforcement does not happen in such a way that you are the loser and therefore the victim every single time. That is not what's happening. All right? And you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Okay? $2 from Artemis Fowl. Calm down, Dev. It's fine. We simply disagree on it. No, I understand, man. We have good debates. It's fun. Tennyson for joining the $5 club. Thank you. Dev, you're wrong. Not about this. But I refuse to specify further. Just know that you're wrong about something. Carry that knowledge with you always.
just refuses to elaborate.
Refuse to elaborate. $5, Brendan Hoover. Scroll up a bit. There's a bit about healthcare law that might be relevant to the government official having moral objection. What do you mean? Let me see. I'll go back to it. Hold on. You say they are still regularly harassing the baker to this day. Who's they? Random fucking people? Like, can you blame him for being paranoid for $2? No, not necessarily. But there does reach a point where like your paranoia, it's like it's too much. It's like, listen, you're being too dumb here. You gotta chill the fuck out. You said there's something about healthcare in the bill that I missed. Let's see if I can find it. Nothing says healthcare on the page. I don't know what I'm doing. Like control fucking F here. Nope. No healthcare, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, dude. Okay, you remember the "Don't Say Gay"? No, sorry, no, don't say gay. The "Bake the Cake" bigot controversy from like 15 years ago.
They've actually lost the no, I mean the people demanding the people that bake the cake. They've actually lost the case.
Yeah, they lost, and
Yeah,
and the reason they lost is because the actual like they said, listen, we'll sell you another cake, but I won't make you a custom piece of artwork because that's considered speech now. It's not just you buying a cake. That's now speech. It's artistic expression. And they lost that because it is artistic expression. Because per the First Amendment, you cannot force someone who is, let's say, anti-gay to make a pro-gay piece of artwork. He won that. All right? This is just, I hate the fucking copium coming out of the right sometimes. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They can already not do the cake now. Like, I really don't think this bill, which had nothing to do with making people in private businesses do things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've read the bill. All it does is it makes it so governments can't discriminate based on it.
Der
It says
Lammergear
nothing about
says there's a new case.
private businesses.
Link the new case, man. Let's check it out. Link the new case. I'll look at it right now. 5 lawsuits. Yes, Brock, you can file lawsuits against anyone. Doesn't mean that they're legitimate. Jesus. Yes, Tidge. I'm triggered by stupidity. I don't know if you've noticed. But I'm triggered by stupidity. Let's see what we're gonna talk about. Oh yeah, good old Henry Cavill. Man. Have you seen what's going on with him?
Other than that, he was going to star in a 40K Warhammer movie. Not too much else. What's happening with Henry Cavill?
Let me pull it up and let me show you. Let's see here. Oh, $5 from Artemis Fowl. Why would I want any selective enforcement where there's chance that the government will act malicious towards me, regardless of how minor the chance? Here's the thing. The government can already do that. All right? You know, a government can pass any law that it wants right now and then ignore the text of that law and then march to your house with 1,000 soldiers and then butt rape you. Okay? Anything could happen. But if that's the level of logic that you're operating on, then you're completely unconvincible anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could make that argument with any law, pretty much.
Yeah. Hi, Dev. I want to thank you for resisting audience capture. I've grown wary of rightoidery, so your channel is a welcome voice of calm the fuck down. Thank you very much, dude. Very appreciated. Somebody actually did manage to get... Okay. Let's see, Der Lammergear. He has the case. Let's take a look at it. Let's share screens again. Here we go. Oh, by the way, guys, I finally got a new mic arm, the one that broke when the table collapsed. Hope the mic doesn't sound any better. All right. I hope it does sound better, at least. Okay, check it out. Okay. The Supreme Court seems poised to side with Colorado web designer in the 303 creative case. Let's see what's going on here. What's the story? Let's see what the story is. Groups supporting and opposed to a Colorado Christian graphic artist who objects to designing wedding websites for same-sex couples. So you have people behind saying speak freely, 303 creative, free speech is for everyone. These are people saying that they shouldn't be forced to design websites for gay marriages. And then you have in the front, it looks like you have LGBT protesters who are saying religion doesn't excuse discrimination. See, wait, is that? Hold on. We're gonna forensic this a little bit, okay? Okay. Do you see? What is this? This is like a folded up pride flag. Oh, is that like the Black Lives Matter fist in the middle of it? Right there? Thanks for the $5, Wood Kidron. Thank you, man. But yeah, like, is this the...
Yeah, it is a black, like a BLM, like fist.
Yeah, it's like even though the flag's not flying, so you can't see it, but it's kind of... See, I thought for a minute it might have been like the furry paw. Have you seen those furry paw pride flags? Holy fuck.
Yes, I have.
Oh my god. I was like, no, don't bring that shit in here. Okay, anyway, let's see what's going on. Okay. Justices heard arguments on Monday that will test whether Colorado's public accommodations law, which bans businesses from discriminating against LGBTQ customers, can have exceptions based on the type of business. The case is 303 Creative versus Alennis. It pits a Colorado website designer named Lori Smith against state officials trying to enforce Colorado's Anti-Discrimination Act. Smith wants to start creating custom wedding websites. She wants to post a message on her company's site saying that she would not create websites for same-sex marriage or any other marriage that is not between one man and one woman. But state officials believe that would be discriminatory based on state laws. So, if the creation of a custom wedding website is considered artwork, and I think there's a decent argument for that, then she should probably be able to not serve same-sex couples, I think. Because it's not just providing a service. It's not just like I won't check out a person at the grocery store because it's a gay couple. That's ridiculous, obviously. But if you're making something yourself, that's different, And I think that the First Amendment applies here.
Yeah, I think it could be. Like, we'll have to see what the ruling says, but
Mhm.
that logic sounds sound. Like, it probably applies here as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like, are they the only web designer in the world? Why not hire
Another one, yeah.
why not hire a non-homophobic web designer?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
pretty sure most of them aren't homophobic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like,
Let's see
why
here.
that one?
On Monday, in 2.5 hours of debate, the justices seemed poised to rule that creative businesses are protected by the First Amendment, and they stand apart from hotels or bus companies. They seem to acknowledge that a state should not be allowed to completely compel a creative business to speak a message it doesn't believe. Even Justice Elena Kagan, who is among the more liberal members of the court, told Colorado Solicitor General Eric Olson, who argued on behalf of the state, that she had a hard time picturing how a state could require, hypothetically, a web designer like Smith to create all kinds of wedding websites. Kagan made the argument that if it was a plug-and-play website where everything was standard and there was no creative component to it, Smith would likely have to sell that website to anyone who asked for it. Yeah, so because it's not a plug-and-play, it's not a pre-made thing, but rather an actual originally crafted work, then she's protected with the First Amendment. So yeah, I think this is probably the proper way to rule on it, But here's the thing, guys. Like, even as these lawsuits are being brought up, they are losing them, Like, that's kind of the point, is that anyone can bring a lawsuit for any reason, but whether you win it, that's a different argument, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether you win it or not, it's up for how well you make the argument
Mhm.
and ultimately what the court decides.
Mm-hmm. And it does seem to be the case that the court will likely decide that they shouldn't be forced to make a website just because, like, they shouldn't be forced to make a website for a marriage that they don't personally believe in because it is a custom work. Yeah. Bake the cake, design the website. What's next? Suck the dick, bigot. Oh God. Listen, Lilith, I don't know if you appreciate that meme, but that's like one of the better memes to come out of the right recently, is in recent years, is suck the dick, bigot. Fucking hell.
That's pretty funny. That should be like a porn title at some point.
Oh, dude, can you imagine? Listen, all right? Okay, here's the porn. Here's the porn, okay?
A huge MAGA chud just comes out and says a bunch of stuff. Okay, I don't want to steal your thunder.
No. Okay.
But it's probably along the lines, right?
You got you've got some Sarah Palin looking right wing, like, mom and MILF type, okay? And she's really hot.
Okay.
She's really hot, and she's completely she's completely against all this. But here's the thing: maybe she's like recently divorced. She's exploring being one of those like right wing lesbians like Scarkella, all right? And then she ends up with a trans person, all right, who is like a far left anarchist radical who is literally like suck the dick bigot, and like that's the porn. The porn is literally just the right wing woman getting completely dominated. One guy in the chat's like, "Go on." $10 from Derlammergear. I think the problem is the mentality that people have when told no about these things. They go off the deep end, even if they know there are alternatives. It's meant to send a message or even target. I actually agree with that for sure. I actually do agree with that. Like, a lot of these lawsuits I do think are brought up by people who are a bit more radical than they let on, and they're here to like set a standard and send a message and say you can't reject our view of the world. And it's like they actually can reject your view of the world, you know? Massive Doge, $2. Commission that quick.
Yes.
We should have Ariella Scarcella on the Tubcast. I don't even think she knows who I am.
Who's that? They sound familiar.
She is a lesbian who left the left like 5 years ago because of the whole like transbian thing. You know, the insistence that like trans women are exactly like cis women in every single way. So if you're a lesbian who doesn't want to have sex with a trans woman, you're transphobic, you're a bigot. There should be no like lesbian only spaces that don't also include trans women, and like all lesbian dating apps should. It's gotten to the point where some of them are even saying you shouldn't even be able to filter out trans women on dating apps because they're the same as cis women. And she's like, nope, I'm like 100% gold star lesbian. I have no interest in men. I have no interest in males. I have no interest in trans women at all. And she's gotten a lot of flack for that. And to be fair, she has radicalized rightward over the years, as she's basically been expelled from the left due to like her very pro lesbian position.
An anti-trans, but fair enough.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't think she hates trans people. She just doesn't want to date them, you know?
Yeah, but like if you spend all day railing about how much you don't want to date trans people, it can be like it's one thing to say like say, oh, I don't want to date Asian people, and then say, oh, I really don't want to date Asian people, and this is gonna be my online identity, and this is what I'm gonna spend my days talking about. I just like, okay, you don't want to date trans people, okay, big deal. Move on. Like some crazies are always gonna say crazy shit, and like, okay, ignore them. Say they're okay, yeah, acknowledge they're crazy, and then move on. To like make a huge stink of it, and like, I don't know.
And you know what? To your
Feels
credit,
a bit like iffy.
To your credit, she has a lot more trans-oriented videos right now than she did when she first started YouTube like 5 years ago. Like, if I were to scroll all the way back to the start of her channel, a lot of her stuff is about like the lesbian experience, you know, about like dating as a lesbian woman, you know, how she interacts with straight women, you know, like here, I'll share the screen just so you know what we're talking about here, okay? Here's her here's Ariel Scarcella's YouTube channel, okay? So you have like, let's see here, lesbian speed dating, coming out as a lesbian, why do lesbians dress like men, lesbian stripper seduces a virgin, shit that straight girls say to lesbians, you know, the underground lesbian code, fat girls are hot, the bathroom dance, how to kiss, you know, how to know and tell if you're gay or lesbian, hot girlfriends, gay Oreos for Pride Month. These are, see, things I hate about the gays. How to get big boobs fast. Is making love a thing? Bisexuals are fake and gay. So like, a lot of these are, yeah, like how to piss off your lesbian girlfriend. So a lot of these are like, and these are all videos from 10 years ago, right? So
yeah,
a lot of these are going to be like clickbait titles that will attract, say, people who don't know much about the lesbian lifestyle to her channel, okay? And it's very lesbian focused, you know? Gay mom, what do lesbians think about scissoring? You know, lesbians explain their first lesbian experience. lesbians enjoying gay guy porn. So like how to go down on a girl. You know, it's this kind of channel, right? Now if you were to go to her most recent videos at the very top, you have former trans kid, I'm suing all my doctors. Gun rights or LGBT rights. Puberty blockers cause infertility. I'm guilty, but don't worry, I'm trans, transgender privilege. Take my organic dick, you lesbian bigot. Normalize gay siblings dating and marrying each other. Jesus. Normalize the bulge, the downfall of trans rights. White people can't be non-binary because racism. My pronouns are God/God self. Bottom surgery ruined my life. Trans activism is an authoritarian movement. I'm a socialist witch and America is evil. An intersex model was raised male and never told the truth. So there's a lot more trans-focused stuff and a lot more of like, you know, the rightoid culture war stuff now on her channel. There's definitely been a shift in what she's been doing.
It really just comes across like she wants to appeal to that audience who just go online to search about how much like they hate trans people. Oh, and ooh, look at this crazy trans person. Ooh, look at that one. They're
Yeah.
all like this.
Yeah.
If you don't want to date a trans person, just don't. I don't
Yep.
care. Just
And
leave,
you know what?
Literally, just leave trans people alone.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Like normal people don't spend all day having trannies on their mind, you know?
Yeah. And to give the devil his due, there are like some of these stories are definitely stories worth talking about. You know, like the doctor who says that puberty blockers cause infertility probably should be talked about by somebody somewhere. Like that's a reasonable story. Like, oh, is it that here's a doctor's professional opinion that puberty blockers cause infertility. So like you can't just ignore that because you think it might be called transphobic, right? That's a real story.
Like,
And you
if
can approach that in a
occasionally cover
non-transphobic
stuff
way.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely can
Yeah.
cover it in a non-transphobic way, like you said. But like when you have your channel when you are not even trans or or you're not dating a trans person or even really that involved with trans people, and you just decide to dedicate all your time on it, and it's like, why?
Mhm.
Is probably for an audience,
Well,
or
see for her, there's definitely like this trend of, let's say, older lesbian millennials who fought very hard for acceptance, and now they feel like it's being taken away because of some legitimately radical trans people who are kind of pushing in on the space. You know, they're not without merit, those complaints, but it's clearly like most trans people aren't like this, and I think this is just a product of being like too terminally online. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's a very terminally online thing. It's like
Mhm.
if you go up to a random person and it's just like, "Ooh, what do you think about this person normalizing bulges?" And they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay,
What? They're not gonna know what you're fucking
Um,
talking about.
all right." And it's like,
Oh my god. My pronouns are fairy self. To be fair, some of this shit's pretty cringe. Like you can't.
yeah, but
I identify as a toddler.
that shit's cringe.
Yeah, there's
But
some
like,
cringe shit here.
people
for
have
sure.
been doing cringe shit since the days of Tumblr.
Oh yeah,
And we just
absolutely.
highlight like every fucking Tumblr post where it's just like, "Ooh, I'm a Minecraft bee gender. My pronouns are bee and bee self." Or it's
Mhm.
just like, okay, yeah, milk content like that endless. It's like, if people will watch it, then people will watch it, I guess.
Mhm.
But it's just like, ultimately, it's just like, why not just leave people alone? Like, most
Yeah.
trans people aren't gonna be like, "You have to date me. You have to suck the dick."
And yeah, so like you can always find someone who like there's that one clip that It's a Gundam uses in his videos a lot, where there's a trans woman saying that if you won't date a trans person, you're a transphobe, He used that clip a lot, but it's like that's not all of them. Obviously, that's not all of them.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
This channel might be one of the most healthy channels on YouTube. You need a sanity check? Check for a new dev vid. Oh, nice. So
Yeah, I recently got some DMs like thanking me for like I recently got a DM saying, "Thank you for not becoming a Nazi. I keep seeing people I looked up to for years abandon their principles. If the if the ever even I think they mean if they ever even actually had them, and it's starting to make me feel like I'm fighting the whole world by myself." And it's just like,
yeah,
lots of people have been like audience captured. I'm not gonna name names, obviously, but like,
do it. Name names.
no.
Here's the thing. To be fair, I've seen that on both sides though. Like I've
Yeah,
seen
people
people
on both sides
swing
have been
rightward,
done
swing
that.
leftward. Yeah, absolutely. You know. Ugh, if you convince me that you are indeed a woman. See, I actually really enjoy it. Maybe just because I like edgy humor or whatever, but I really enjoy like the misogyny trans arc that you sometimes see, where it's like, of course I'm a woman. I'm an idiot. It's like, yeah, all right, based. Okay.
The terms are the trans inclusionary radical feminists are very based. They affirm through treating trans people equally shit
Based.
as regular women.
Based. But yeah, there's like a lot of people who have radicalized rightward or leftward, and I haven't really moved that much, all things considered.
In fact, I would say I have a lot more respect for terms than the people that say shit like, "Ooh, I hate all men, but not trans men though. You're different." Like a female to male trans men.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're like, "Ooh, not you. You were raised different." And it's just like, aren't you just like misgendering them indirectly?
Mm-hmm.
And
Hey,
while
Saber.
trying to be nice.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean exactly. Let me see here. I'm gonna have to dig into the Sargon private chat for a minute and find some of the links that I wanted to talk about real quick. I'm sure he won't mind. I'm not gonna be able to show it to you guys though. Okay, did you see that like the mass suspension of journalists on Twitter has its own Wikipedia page called the Thursday Night Massacre?
Really?
Yeah, that's some cringe
Right, that
fucking
happened.
shit.
There was like a lot of named journalists got suspended one night after tweeting about the Elon jet thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Come on, internet. I think that Dev's anti-chat stance has worked out. It's really hard to convince the guy in things, which can be frustrating, though. I love fighting with my chat. You guys are great. Let's see. Where's the... Right.
You should just have like a notice next to your graphic in the future. It's just like the one with you sitting next to the computer.
Yeah.
It just be like the chat is always wrong.
The chat is always wrong. Here, okay. I keep seeing people who are like, Dev, I can't believe you finally turned this way. You're constantly fighting with your chat. You can never take criticism, and you're getting too big of an ego. And I'm like, listen, dude, the reason that you think this is because when I do actually take the criticism, you're not watching, you're not paying attention. When someone says, "Hey, Dev, you're wrong about this," and I'm like, "Oh, I guess I am wrong about that. Yeah, I think I am wrong about that." No one says it. I get no fucking credit for that shit. No one cares about that. But when people are like, "Dev, you're wrong," and I'm like, I don't think you are. I think I'm correct about this. I think you guys are wrong this time. Oh God, and then it's time to fucking go to war. Let's go, boys. Let's fight. Okay, give me a second here. I hate it when you call us terminal right-wing partisans. T-Bra, I've seen enough of your posts to think that you actually are a right-wing partisan. But here's the thing. For some reason, you seem to think that that's an insult. I'm not using it as an insult. I'm using it as a descriptor. Okay? I'm trying very hard to stop using political labels as insults, because you need an accurate way of describing the ideas within the label, right? So, for example, here, this is going to trigger probably you, Lilith, and probably a bunch. It is an insult. No, it's not. No, it's not. If you take it as an insult, it's your problem, not mine. You're being offended. All right? So listen. Tidge, goddammit. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to be a femboy, goddammit. No, here. Okay. This will probably trigger you and some other people, all right? So, I believe that Shu is a classical fascist. Okay? Shu on head. Right? But I'm not using that label as a slur. All right? I'm not using it to like disparage Shu on head. However, what I'm saying is, I think the policies she advocates for are in line with classical fascism. And they are in line with classical fascism. So I'm not using that with any kind of morality attached. I'm using it as an actual descriptor of what the policies are. All right? And that's how I use these things. So when I say you're a right-wing partisan, I'm not saying you're evil. I'm saying you're a right-wing partisan. Okay, guys? So chill the fuck out. Just chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? Dev,
Yes.
your smugness and optimism will be your downfall. Maybe. I'm okay with it, though. I'm okay with that. If it turns out that I'm smug and that destroys me, and I'm too optimistic about the future and that destroys me, okay. That's fine. No. I guess we all have to float above the plebeians and acknowledge that the terms don't actually mean how they're used. What do you mean how they're used? What are you fucking talking about? What are you fucking talking about? I don't even know what you're... I don't even know what you're fucking talking about at this point. I don't understand the things that you're saying. God damn it, chat. Tage, what the fuck are you saying? Well, the recent shoe controversy. Wasn't that like the Balenciaga thing? I did a video on that. Partisan's an insult? No, it's not. What? Hold. Oh my god. Listen, I feel like I have to debunk you retards in real time because you say like 5 wrong things. And like I have to go through 1 wrong thing before you say 5 more. Okay. Partisan. A partisan is a strong supporter of a party, cause, or person. A partisan is a member of an armed group formed to fight secretly against an occupying force. In particular, one operating in enemy-occupied Yugoslavia, Italy, and parts of Eastern Europe in World War II. Nothing about the word partisan means that it's negative. What do you... Oh, God. Dev, why don't you just uncritically agree with everything your audience says? I'll just do that. You know what? Yeah, you know what I'll do? Okay, here. I'll just
turn off your head and be like, the chat is always right.
The chat is always right. Good definition, Dev. Now, how is that word used? Oh God, are you doing like a Wittgenstein definition as use versus definition as? Oh, you fucking okay. Wittgenstein, Ludwig Wittgenstein, philosopher, philosophy of language, definition as use. I fucking hate you people. Wait, where the fuck is it? Anyway, no, he had some writing about how like words you can gain definitions of words by how they're used and also by how they're defined, and that there's like an interplay between them and all this fucking nonsense. Oh wait, hold on. This is actually this is actually a good criticism, okay? So I have a DM from someone who says, I think you could be more humble. Instead of calling your chat retards when you're sure you're right about something, it's okay for people to be wrong about stuff. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I accept. Chat, it's completely okay that you're wrong, okay? It's completely all right that you're incorrect. I still love and accept you, even though you're wrong. I will be humble in my correctness. I will be humble in my correctness, okay? Even though you're wrong about literally everything you ever say. Even though you're wrong about literally everything you ever say. I still accept you.
I'll make an exception for when people are just being straight up rude. You get to be rude back.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Hold on. T-Bra, I don't see you in a positive or negative light. I don't know you, dude. I don't hate you. I don't know why you think I do. This is Dev's GigaChat arc. I've been on a GigaChat arc since the moment I was fucking born, boys. That's how it is. Learn to accept that you might be wrong at some point, Dev. No, I accept that I might be wrong all the time. But I haven't seen anything from you, Brock, that makes you think I'm wrong. All right. Listen, you know I'm fucking around with you, chat. It's okay. It's okay. We probably won't have time to do the Elon Twitter leaks today. But we can at least do the Henry Cavill today. All right? The Henry Cavill. So have you been watching The Witcher? Do you like The Witcher?
I have not been watching The Witcher. How is it?
Do you like the games?
I own the games, but I have to actually play it.
Oh, God damn it. Okay.
Well, the Wild Hunt on the PS4. And I will have to stream myself playing it at some point. How is it, by the way? Is it like it's like looks like an RPG adventure type game.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. So Witcher 1
I heard really good things about it.
Witcher 1 is a game that has not aged very well at all. It feels like a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines type of game where it's very like janky and product of like 1999 era programming. Witcher 2 plays more like your average action adventure where like that was released in, you know, the late 2000s, early 2010s, where you have like little open areas with a few side quests, but the game is mostly set on rails, and you have like a very basic skill system and level up system. You know, very, very generic action RPG of the era. Witcher 3 is a full open world RPG, and it's considered one of the better open world RPGs. No, I want to answer this question real quick. What's the biggest mistake you've made so far during your YouTube history? Okay, I understand that you can't afford to super chat. I understand, dude. It's okay. My biggest mistake, I think, was deleting back in 2014, deleting the Phil Fish expose when he sent us a cease and desist. I should have just nutted up and kept it up because he wouldn't have done anything. I should have done that because that video was going viral and I nuked it like right when it was at its peak. I should have kept it going. Anyway, so the Witcher games are beloved for being very good games. Characters are lovable. Games are very well put together. But also because the company really respected the lore of the Witcher novels that are like these Polish novels that it was based off of. And then when The Witcher came to Netflix and they had Henry Cavill come on as Geralt, people were like, first of all, people were very, they thought very low of the show initially because Geralt is like a very kind of wiry guy and Henry Cavill's way too built to be Geralt. But turns out that he's actually a massive Witcher fanboy and he fought very hard to keep the lore accurate during Witcher seasons 1.
That's very good.
Yeah. During seasons 1, 2, and 3, Henry Cavill he fought with Netflix, he fought with fucking everyone to keep the show lore accurate. And the reason they're hinting at the fact that he left between season 3 and season 4 because Netflix was just getting tired of his shit. And they
Really?
wanted to make like a more like packageable, more corporatized kind of show.
Yeesh. Yikes.
Yeah. Yep.
Henry Cavill sounds like a stand-up dude. And
Mm-hmm. And so
I hope his work at 40K will be very good as well, because I'm sure he's like a lore nerd when it comes to that as well.
He absolutely is. And in fact, I think I can show you some of this. So let's bring it up. All right. So this is from The Witcher, right? This came out a couple months ago. Why did Henry Cavill leave The Witcher? Yep. So the series star Henry Cavill announced he's stepping down as Geralt and passing his role on to Liam Hemsworth. People are mad about it because the only reason The Witcher was actually any good is because of Henry Cavill, in my opinion. And now it'll probably get a lot shittier. In fact, I think there's also Netflix recently revealed they're doing a Witcher side story, and they're clearly just like making it a Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Warcraft, whatever, knock up, just generic fantasy. You know, in The Witcher, dwarf women specifically have beards, and they had that in the show. In Witcher season 2, they had dwarf women with beards. They're taking that out for the new seasons of The Witcher because it's not marketable enough, even though it's in the lore that dwarf women have beards. So shit like that, you know, even if it's just background shit like that, you can kind of tell where they're going with this. They're making it way more marketable and licensable.
I would have accepted it if we at least saw some dwarven women with beards.
You
But we
see them in
didn't see
season 2,
any.
but they're all gone now. You see them in season 2, but they're all being taken out now. It's all gone.
Ah, very sad.
Yep. But anyway, Cavill's leaving, and even back at 2 months ago, everyone was theorizing that it was over creative differences that he was leaving The Witcher. That being said, if you're a Witcher fan, you should absolutely watch the show. The first 2 seasons are quite good. If you're not a Witcher fan, it's still a good show. It's still actually a pretty good show, and maybe it'll lead you to play the games. You know what I mean? So it seemed to be the case that when Henry Cavill was leaving The Witcher, his next job was going back to be Superman, because he was Superman in a few of the that failed DC extended universe attempt they tried to do to like copy Marvel that completely fucked up and failed. He was Superman in a few movies in that. So he was hired back on for like 2 days to be Superman. But then he was fired from being Superman. Yeah. Henry Cavill dropped to Superman by DC after announcing his return. So he's gone. Yep. What's going on basically is James Gunn and Peter Safran have been handed the keys to DC Studios in late October. And Cavill teased his return as Superman during a cameo appearance in the end credits of Black Adam, a DC film starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But it turns out that he is, after all, not returning as Superman. And basically what they're doing is, because the DC cinematic universe has been such a fucking shit show, James Gunn is restarting the whole thing. And actually, I think they're going to make Superman black. So they wanted a black actor.
Sure, why not?
So they're making Superman black. All right. So Henry Cavill is no longer Superman.
James Gunn is a relatively good writer, though. So
Is he?
yeah, like I enjoyed his work for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, he has. Yeah, okay. No, fair enough, right? Yeah. I'll read those super chats in a minute, okay, guys? Thank you very much. Let's see here. So even though Henry Cavill lost the Superman role, he's still not going back to The Witcher. Liam Hemsworth is still taking over as Geralt of Rivia. So for a while, it seems like he was just out of a job, you know, because one of the theories was he was jumping ship to go be Superman again, but then he couldn't be Superman, so he's gonna go back to The Witcher. Nope, he's not going back to being The Witcher. So yeah, that's just how it is. He's out of a job until, is this the one? Yeah. Henry Cavill's next play is a Warhammer 40,000 series on Amazon. So Amazon secured the rights to the Warhammer 40,000 property, and Cavill is not only the star, he's also the executive producer. So he has a lot of control. He has a lot of control over this. Now, Amazon might still taint this because Amazon fucked up Lord of the Rings, as you were there for. It was a garbage fucking...
Yeah.
Oh my god. So Amazon still might fuck it up. But
they might.
It might be okay. This might actually be okay.
Amazon doesn't fuck up everything. Like, I watched The Boys the other day. It was pretty good. And I've also watched Man in the High Castle. And that one was also pretty good. And those are both like Amazon productions. So, yeah, it might just be the case where Lord of the Rings was a boo-boo.
It was like a fucking $5 billion boo-boo. Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money they sunk into that.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure I've even stopped seeing like Amazon promoted when we're on the Amazon Prime page. Maybe
Invincible was good too. Invincible was good too. Yeah.
Yes, Invincible was really good. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Season 2.
So this was announced on the Warhammer website. Yep. What a heck of a surprise for all Warhammer fans. Games Workshop, Amazon Studios are bringing Henry Cavill. Yep. So it's hopefully going to be good. Now, who knows? But everyone's hoping, right? Now, Henry Cavill seems to be like a hot name right now. He has been for the past couple of years at least. So, fucking
Yes.
Sophia
He became
Norwitz
really big when he did his Superman role.
Yeah. So Sophia Norwitz posted
Which
this.
they killed off in 2 movies. Oh,
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The fuck, DC. You deserve your crash and burn.
So, because Henry Cavill is popular, he's popular with the fans. He's popular with people who, let's say, have the wrong political opinions online. You have this article that came out a couple days ago. Henry Cavill's problematic comments on dating resurface alongside the Warhammer 40k news. Oh. He had a problematic take. Let's see what the problematic take is, okay? Let's see. The comments in question were made during a 2018 interview with GQ Australia when Cavill was discussing dating and romance. At the time, the Me Too movement was regularly making headlines following a series of sexual abuse accusations against Harvey Weinstein. While discussing talking to potential dates, Cavill made a staggeringly tone-deaf remark about new boundaries that have arisen in the wake of the movement. So here's what he said. Here's his tone-deaf remarks. You're gonna okay. That's It's very difficult to do that if there are certain rules in place, because then it's like, well, I don't want to go up and talk to her because I'm going to be called a rapist or something. So you're like, forget it. I'm going to go call an ex-girlfriend instead and just go back to a relationship which never really worked. But it's way safer than casting myself into the fires of hell, because I'm someone who's in the public eye. And if I go and flirt with someone, then who knows what's going to happen? That's it. That's all there was.
Doesn't sound like a "I'm going to rape every woman in the world" speech.
Yeah. It sounds like he's a celebrity who's afraid of like going up to a girl and flirting with her and then having his life fucking destroyed by somebody who just wants to do it because he's a celebrity, which is a reasonable fear. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like
there's nothing wrong here at all.
To gain from somebody who could potentially just don't mind lying and be malicious.
Yep.
And that's obviously not good. Like, you got to be careful if you're a celebrity or just in general.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong here at all, but apparently this is the media is attempting to cancel Henry Cavill because of these remarks that he made in 2018, which were completely reasonable.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yep. Good luck.
Ooh, so scary.
Mhm.
How dare he bring up the fact that some people might lie for an advantage?
So there is one final smear piece that came out about him. Okay? And per the text of the smear piece, it's actually pretty bad. But it's also very easy to read between the lines. So I want you to listen to this, okay? I recently got this message, and somebody was like, "Do you want to know what really went down with Henry Cavill?" And I was like, "Sure." So let me just read it. It says, at the beginning of the show, Henry was good to work with. A lot of unusual demands that made people feel like he wasn't really a team player. But that's not unusual for a big star. Though in TV, it truly usually doesn't happen until the second season. But in season 2 and 3, something shifted, and he became really impossible for women to work with, which is always a big problem. But even worse here, because the showrunner of The Witcher is a woman. He would try to overrule her and try to get changes made last minute across the board without her knowledge. Which, if you know anything about showrunning, is completely fucked. The showrunner has to sign off on every minuscule detail down to the buttons on a costume. Female writers and directors were suddenly completely ignored on the set, unable to do their jobs. Every department head was complaining. He started making comments. It wasn't a sexual thing. He wasn't grabbing anyone or he wasn't being lewd. It was disrespectful and toxic all the same. Henry Cavill is deeply addicted to video games, to the point where it was like working with any other addict. He was distracted, he was late, he was obsessive. And a lot of people think that the misogyny came from gamer world.
Gamer oppression, typical.
Video game bro language is not how you talk to coworkers. And he wouldn't stop. Someone on the show compared it to watching someone get brainwashed by QAnon. Like his whole personality shifted. Eventually, his disrespect escalated. He would rewrite scenes without even alerting the other actors in the scenes until it was time to shoot. He decided that he didn't want any romantic scenes at all. No kissing, no shirtless scenes, etc. He wanted complete control of storylines, but really had no idea of the limitations of TV, structure, budget, etc. He formed a weird alliance with one writer who was also a gamer, who eventually got fired after multiple HR complaints were made. And after that writer left, Henry did anything he could to hold up production and cost problems. Eventually, top brass at Netflix was tired of him costing them money with delays in HR investigations. And the showrunner was asked to construct a potential exit for him. Netflix reached out to him personally, and he was given one final warning. And he violated that warning with an email he sent to the entire writing staff right after the meeting. And that was it. So, per the text of that, it sounds like pretty bad. But considering that we know that Henry Cavill is the only reason that the show stayed on lore, and that we know from other reports that he had to fight with like the more Hollywood aspects of the production that just wanted something that was very like generic fantasy, very marketable. Who cares about the lore? Just butcher it. We're making our own story now. And he fought that tooth and nail the entire way. Knowing that context, this honestly makes Henry Cavill sound really fucking good.
Yeah, like they tried to smear him, and some parts, like, yeah, he does sound kind of like he could be a bit hard to work with, and when it comes to certain parts, but like the fact that he's making sure that the show stays on track with the lore and making sure that it makes sense, and him being like a gamer is really just a plus, if anything.
Yes, Yes. So people thought, like, for some reason, people thought that this would tank Henry Cavill's career, but like all of his fans just love him more. You know, that's how these things
This will
work.
be the one that'll totally get him now.
Yeah.
What do you mean they still love him?
Mhm.
That's impossible.
So it seems like Henry Cavill, maybe he will save Warhammer 40K from like the mediocrity that it's currently in. Who knows? Who knows, right? But there's a more general situation that, like, when you make something for like a modern audience, a wider audience, a more globalized audience, you're just making shit. Okay? You're just making garbage that no one's going to like. And the issue is that for something to be interesting, it has to risk being offensive. It has to be particular. It has to appeal to some people and not appeal to other people. If you make something that appeals to everyone, it will just be bland, gray, formless sludge that'll flow down the pipe from Hollywood directly into your TV. And you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to like it. You're not going to hate it, but you're not going to like it. And it will basically just fill time while you wait for your own fucking death. Okay? And that's how they treat this stuff, is in order to maximize profit, they will make stuff that is just shitty enough. Okay? Meanwhile, if you want to make a truly good show, everything in the world that is truly good, some people absolutely hate. And you have to risk that. Because at least if you hate something, then you care about it. But for the most, like, for the worst shows, you don't even hate them. You just don't care about them. Yeah, you just don't care about them. Yeah, exactly.
Like, because why should you expel energy? Because
Mhm.
hate requires a lot of energy and, like, attention to
Yep.
hate something.
Mhm. And also, like,
if something is just so bad that it doesn't matter, then who cares?
someone in the chat also says this is why inclusivity fails as a moral virtue. Yes, like inclusivity can only be pushed so far, right? There's only so much inclusiving you can do before you basically destroy yourself. There has to be a group of people that a thing is meant for. Here's the obvious example, right? Lilith, you and I don't see eye to eye on the LGBT question. You know that already, and that's fine. But you also
One of these days, you will be forced to gay marriage. Okay.
Oh, will I?
You'll have to marry a black gay man, and you'll be happy.
I'll be happy about
Gay
it.
interracial.
Nice. So like, but even you have admitted before that, like, watching the acronym expand LGBTQIA plus BRAAPP, and it sounds like someone burping. You made that joke a few years ago. How dumb the acronym is getting, right?
The LGBT BRAP.
Yep. So if inclusivity truly is the ultimate virtue, then why wouldn't you include straight people in the gay community?
Well, because gay people are not a sexual minority.
But still, you want to be inclusive, right? And, being inclusive is a specific appeal not to being a minority status. Because if you include everyone, then you're the majority, right? So you should have LGBTQS, where the S stands for straight, and now you've included more people. But here's the issue, is that, and this is something that gay...
Well, there's something like that. There's like this gay straight alliance. And,
those are dead at this point. Fuck, those have been murdered by pride groups. That's like 20 years old. but
yeah,
still,
maybe that's just old and remembering things. But I don't know. I don't have
I can tell you.
I don't have a problem with like straight people being included in like gay spaces. Like why kick them out? Like, if they want to be part of the space and be supportive, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, there are some who are like, don't like that, right? So I'm not saying you're like that, but there's some who don't like that. But the philosophical issue behind why straights aren't in the LGBT alliance is because if you are inclusive, then you're being majoritarian. You're including everyone. We're going to include every race, every gender, every point of view. And so now you've included the majority of everything, right? However, if you are exclusive, then you're a minoritarian, and all minority movements have to be exclusive. That's the point. The black movement is not for non-black people; it's for black people, right? The LGBT movement is not for straight people; it's for LGBT people. That's the point of it, right? You can have allies, but they can never be part of. They can never be inside the movement, right? So, inclusivity, and also having something that is particular to one specific group. These are two forces that are completely in conflict, right? So you can't have a show like a Witcher show that is 1, for Witcher fans, and 2, for everyone, because everyone includes non-Witcher fans, right? And that's why you keep seeing like, oh, Vampire the Masquerade is for everyone, tabletop gaming is for everyone, video games are for everyone. No, they're not. They're actually not. They're for gamers. They're for fans of the thing. Warhammer isn't for everyone. It's for Warhammer fans. And that's why you see these properties that they're going through like the slow degradation process, is because they're trying to be something that they're not. And it's accepting inclusivity as this moral virtue that's pushing them in that direction. But inclusivity is not always a moral virtue.
Yep.
There's my philosophy rant. You get one of those every fucking stream. Okay?
No, it's fair. To break it down like in the most like basic of terms, if it's something is for everyone, then it's for no one.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. If we're all special, then no one is. It's that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for
Like,
example,
I can understand people wanting to like get like because like you don't want like for example the 40K show that's coming up, like you don't want the only people that can get it are just like you have to read 40 hours of probably 40 hours probably wouldn't be enough for like the 40K lore. There's just so much.
Mhm.
You have to read all of the lores and all these books just to get what's going on, and it's like there's a difference between having like a high barrier of entry and having just like something for that's just like lowest common denominator for anybody
Yeah.
to just pick up. And it may as well just be like a daytime soap opera.
Yeah. And also the issue with that though is that you like, this is why, for example, people who tend to oppose this sort of thing, they're not left leaning. While people who do tend to enjoy these shows, they are more left leaning. And the issue ultimately is that if you're making something that is not for the lowest common denominator, then you're like almost like you're creating a hierarchy. It's not a strict hierarchy. It's not like a like a job, like a workplace or something. But you are creating a hierarchy of taste, and you can move between the hierarchy relatively easily. But it does involve occupying a spot in the hierarchy, right? Where, for example, you have, let's say, the Witcher TV show hierarchy. Okay, at the bottom you have a potential Witcher TV show that is made for everyone, and it's kind of just bland and it kind of sucks, and no one really cares, and it's like the most generic sci-fi fantasy bullshit, and it's just there to make money. But then as you go up the hierarchy, you make a show that is more particular, more focused in on what The Witcher should be as a unique property. But that necessarily means that some people who are on the lower levels of the hierarchy, they don't come along with you. They don't. Only the true fans are willing to watch those other types of shows, right? So there's like I've been reading some right-wing philosophy, and there's a consistent view in right-wing philosophy that like any form of exclusivity creates hierarchy, right? So for example, like in my relationship with Naomi, there's a hierarchy there. There's, at the top of the hierarchy, there's me and Naomi, who are privy to our relationship. And then at the bottom of the hierarchy is everyone else who is not privy to our relationship. And that it's difference itself that creates hierarchy. And so when people say things need to be inclusive, things need to be equal, and when you have like anarchists who say they don't want a hierarchy at all, what they're actually saying is like a form of like impossible openness for humans to adopt. It's like an anti-human point of view almost. I'm kind of talking up my ass here. I don't fully understand this stuff yet. I'm still reading up on it, but we'll see. We'll see. I think there's something here. I think there's something here. You know what I mean? I gotta really think about it more.
I feel like to do away with hierarchies entirely, it's basically close to impossible because in any situation, there's always going to be people who are more privy to more informations and more different like knowledges that they have.
Mhm.
Like if we're gonna be like running a nuclear plant, there's always gonna be like a hierarchy of people who know the most about what they're doing in any certain fields. And then there's also gonna be people who are less knowledgeable and less educated, and but they're important still, but they're just like they're under their supervisors, and
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, there's always
I know
going to
what you
be
mean, yeah.
some sort of hierarchy based on like knowledge and interpersonal relationships, and yeah, just
Yeah,
how
and
things
you know what?
form.
You also, someone in the chat just said you always have to exclude people, right? Because at the very bottom of the hierarchy are people who aren't involved in the nuclear plant, and you're going to have security to keep them out. You know,
Yeah.
just how it is. Yeah. It is pretty much getting to the end of the stream today. I think I'm not going to be able to do. I'm not going to be able to talk about the Elon Twitter leaks things. I'm sure that'll come up some other future time. That's fine. We had a good time just hanging out today.
Yep, we could talk about the Twitter files
Next time, yeah.
later.
If you
Or-
wanted to send more super chats and have me read them out, I'm reading out the final super chats right now. Let me just see here real quick. What else do we got here? Have a swell day, you. Oh, by the way, before I read them out, chat. I know that we fight a lot, and I say this every time. We fight, we make up. It's okay. It's fine. Listen, when I'm actually screaming at you about being sub 75 IQ retards, you know I'm mainly fucking around, right? Like it's okay. It's all right. We're having fun
He
here.
does it because he loves you, and
Yeah.
I love you too, chat.
Yeah. So, just be cool. Don't worry. Even if you disagree, it's
Even when
completely
you're
fine.
wrong.
Even when you're
incredibly wrong, I still love you.
Yeah.
Unless you're just being a dickhead. I'll love you less. But you know.
Oh, also, join the D Club. Because if you do, you get access to all these emotes. So hit that memberships button right now. Look at that. Dev pretending that partisan is not used as an insult. LMAO deranged. I'm not using it as an insult. I'm sorry if somebody else did, but I'm not. Okay?
Yeah, like somebody could always just be partisan. Like, for example, you could say BBC is partisan towards like a left-leaning stance, and like Fox News is a partisan towards a right-leaning stance. Doesn't make them inherently bad because of those things. It just means you acknowledge they have a bias.
Here, let's read these super chats here. Gentle Throw, $5. Have a swell day. You both are rad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Derlamer Gear, $10. I would fear the status of this country if the Supreme Court had been ideologically captured by the left and not the right. There would be no brakes on this train. Maybe so. There's definitely some obvious problems with the left, you know? Let's see here.
I don't think the Supreme Court being ideologically captured by the left or right is a good thing.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court's job is there to interpret the Constitution and not give their personal spin on things.
Tennyson for $5. What about actual partisan politics? Elected officials fight with polearms to determine bill passage. This also solves term limit issues. Yeah, so a partisan is also a type of spear weapon. I get the joke. I've also played Final Fantasy. Mace Schfunter for 25 Mexican pesos. Giga Chad, more like Giga Cuck. The Dave Smug Dead. What? What are you talking? What? Thanks for the money, man, but I don't get what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes. Some people are saying the Constitution is right wing at this point. That's another philosophy discussion. Basically, like, right wingers view the source of legitimate authority as being top down, and left wingers view it as being bottom up. Right. So on the right, you have constitutionalists, or like social contract right wingers who view like the source of legitimacy as being from a set of rules like the Constitution, or you have monarchists who believe that the source of legitimacy is from a person, the divine right of kings, right? Meanwhile, on the left, leftist ideologies tend to view the source of legitimacy as coming from the collective of people. So you have liberalism, which is very much like liberalism is that political legitimacy comes from the voter, through representative democracy, the citizen. Socialism on the left views the worker as the source of legitimacy. So like the people who produce all of the things in society, the ones who work. Fascists on the left, and in this formulation, fascists are left wing. Fascists on the left, they view the source of legitimacy as being the people, the race, the ethnic group, So they're all fundamentally majoritarian philosophies that are bottom up, while constitutionalists and monarchists are top down. So they have fundamentally different views on where does legitimate authority lie.
Yeah, like the problem with the belief that legitimacy lies with like everybody means like it's just like mob rule, really.
Yes.
Like, what if the majority decide, oh, we're gonna bring back witch burning?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are they still gonna support that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, though, even though in this conversation, even though like the right is top down and the left is bottom up, when we're talking about how to structure society, this actually inverts. So, for example, liberals, socialists, and fascists on the left, they're all top down. They're building institutions, they're building systems. They have these overarching nets of power that they create. However, people on the right, they're very much bottom up. They work with their families and their local churches and their local community groups, and they kind of keep things all in one in a very like grassroots oriented manner. So there's probably some idea here that I haven't fully formed. I got to think about for a while, but there's something going on here. Yeah, I got to figure this out.
Think about.
Yeah. Let's see here. $15 from Hagnar the Viking. Thank you. Just got word that my nephew died in a trucking accident. Something poetic about help starting the trucker vid when meme. Jesus, is that are you making a joke or is that true? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry if your cousin really did die.
Yeah, nephew, not cousin. Yeah,
nephew. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I'm sorry, dude. If you started the trucker vid when meme, I mean, I guess there's something poetic about it, but I'm sorry if your nephew actually died. That wasn't just a joke.
Yeah, genuinely.
Mr. Bruh, 10 pounds. Thank you. Hi, Dev. You should try playing Genshin Impact for a stream. It's really fun. I love your centrist takes, especially since I watch Lotus Eaters too much, lol. Merry Christmas. Also, Wittgenstein is based. Thanks, man. Listen, Wittgenstein, if there's like one writer that you should read, and you're not getting into like political philosophy specifically, you should read Wittgenstein. Read his philosophy of language. It kind of sucks to read though, but it's very useful. Tanushi, €2. This is in reference to the people complaining about Henry Cavill. Sounds like someone was ignored by the local Chad. Yep. Sounds like someone was ignored by the local Chad. Okay. That's all the supers, guys. Thank you very much. Very appreciated.
Thank you for the views and thank you for the supers.
Let's see who we can raid. I might do a bonus gaming stream tonight on the channel. I'm not sure just yet. I know that Adam and Sitch, they're not fucking around exactly tonight, so maybe I could do a stream and like fuck around myself. It's true. F in the chat for my nephew, boys. I'm sorry, Hagnar. Thanks, man. Thanks for the $5. I'm really sorry that happened, man. Wait. Santa says, I used to admire Dev, but he doesn't listen to people anymore. He doesn't have to agree, but he doesn't even listen to people's arguments anymore. I'm listening. There's bad arguments, dude. Jesus. All right. Enough getting triggered. Listen, let's go raid Tina. Everyone go in and post either coffee cups, or Dev Sips. If you have the Dev Sip emote, post that. If you don't, post the coffee cup emote. Okay? Spam her chat with coffee cups. And I might go stream in a couple hours on Twitch or on the gaming channel or something. Maybe just hanging out. You make sure you guys can be there. Are you streaming at all anytime soon, Lilith?
I will try to do some later this afternoon. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right then. That sounds good. So you could watch either Lilith or I if I stream. So you have options.
Yep. I stream on Twitch.
Nice. Excellent. And that's Lilith Lovett. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, Naomi, are you invading right at the end?
Yes.
Why? What's going on?
I'm going to bed.
Hey, are you okay?
I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Goodbye.
All right. Okay. Listen, I'll see you guys later, all right?
All right. See you guys another time.